Headset. Hi. Hello again, Mad Ones, and welcome to Art with Mad Mel. I am the maddest man, maddest artist on YouTube. And guess what? You guys are going to learn how to be mad too. I hope you guys are ready for today. We're going to be doing some hand drawing. I'm going to teach you guys basics on drawing. I feel like it's time to share that. So if you have a pencil and a piece of paper or a sketchbook, like myself, which I will be going over probably tomorrow and make a list for you guys so you can do this, because I feel like I want to share this more often. Nevertheless, sketchbook, piece of paper, something, notepad, receipt, whatever. I want to show you guys how to do basic art. And I want to teach you how to regain your imagination, or how to unlock it, because all of us have been subjugated to the loss of creative madness. At least some of us have. But I want to show you how to regain that and how to not lose it again. Anyways, at least in my opinion, right? So our medium is going to be pencil, pen, calligraphy pen, and we're only going to do this for about 30 minutes, right? I can show you in about 30 minutes basics. But since I have an event that I'm going to, shout out to Bluegrass Vapes tonight. We're going to have an event coming up soon. I'm going to be going to next week, actually, Saturday. So I will put the information in my social, and that way you guys can see it and everything. Hey, Skew, hope you're ready. Hope you got pen and paper, right? So today we're going to finish this, since I'm going to be selling this bad boy, and I'm going to get all this done. Yeah, it looks a whole lot different this time around. Been doing some stuff, It looks all pretty. So that will be what we finish the show with. I'm going to work on that a little bit and get that tightened up. But first, we're going to start off with showing you guys how to draw. So let me get some music on. Oh, by the way, I trimmed up the whole jazz music, so that should be a little bit better. I kind of cut some of the crap out of there. So here we go. Hope you have a good time. And check this out. You get to see my face again. See, this way I can actually talk to you. It was brought up by Mad One that was watching the show, and they said, hey, why don't you ever show yourself? And I thought, I haven't done that in quite some time. So this way I can actually talk to you guys a little bit better, and I can also show you what's going on here. See? All right, let's try something new. I'm not a good teacher, so I hope that this works. So I'm going to turn that down. There we go. That ain't too bad. Cool. So, first things first, I want to show you guys a little something that I like to do. Hopefully, is the music too loud first off? Because I checked this earlier and it didn't sound that loud to me, but I'm a techno kid. I'm half deaf anyways, right? So, that's for me for later. Now, main things that you want, pencil, any type. Number 2 pencil, 05, 07, 09, whatever. Don't matter, a piece of charcoal. If you're in a cave or in a war-torn area and you just happen upon me, pick up a piece of charcoal. Now, How do we do this? Now I want to show you something that I actually don't like that much, but it is something that's beneficial. Me and this individual have a love-hate relationship from the day I started drawing. Get you one of these. It doesn't matter how big, how small, you just need it just to start with, right? It's just for a beginning. Once you get familiar with what this is, all these balls and all that mess, music is good, fantastic, thank you, Demetra. So once you get used to all the balls and the legs and all that mess, right, then you can do it without it, right? So I'm just showing you what we're going to work on today. So what I'm going to teach you and what I'm going to show you guys is how to use orbs to get familiar with making body parts. And we're going to start with the stick figure, because the stick figure is the skeleton. Always remember that. If anybody ever tells you, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or blah, 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 the stick figure is the skeleton. Always remember, there has to be a bobble, which is the head, the torso, which is basically a straight line. You have 2 lines for the legs and 2 lines for the arms. Everything else from there is segmented in joints, okay? And if anything, here's something for you guys too, a little reference. Look at an anatomy book. It tells you everything. Or if you aren't, you know, too afraid to touch your own body in a PG way, chill out. Feel your wrist, feel your arms, touch yourself. You have a body. It's no different than what you're going to draw here. Once you get familiar with it and get past the fear of I don't know, it makes it easier. So we're going to break that fear, and I want to teach you guys how to regain your all your inspiration back. The biggest thing that we learn growing up is to cut your imagination, get real, lose all that, get back into the real world, blah, 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 grindstone and bootstraps and all that mess, right? So then you lose what you are given as a child, which is creativity, to be able to see something, right? So let's say here, the biggest thing that you want to learn or relearn again, which I want to turn this light on. Hopefully I don't flashbang you guys, because it'll make it a little bit easier. There you go. That ain't too bad. Thank you. So, first thing we're going to do is start with your head, right? So you want to make your head. We're just going to do real small. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hope everybody can see that. Okay. You know, maybe that light's washing it out. I can change the color of it. There we go. Make it warmer so it doesn't bleed it out. Hey, there you go. Look at that. So you start off with a circle, and then you got your line. There you go. Right? Now we're going to do this thing, perspective. We talked about this last time, right? So what we're going to do with the perspective, if you want to do perspective, from this point, this is where you would find where you want your horizon line, right? Up here, over here, here, but we're not worrying about that. We're just getting basic shape. I'm just showing you in future, if you decide to, right? And it might be a little too light. I don't know. Let me use a darker pencil. Let me use a 09. Okay? Or actually a number. What number is this? Here we go. This one is a 2, right? And this one is a normal 9. I use 9s for shading sometimes, but this one should show up a little bit better. Thicker lead, right? So, once you have your base here, you know, you got your stick figure, you got your head. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about perfection. This is just teaching you how to get back there, right? So once you have your head and your body, then you got to make your legs. And it doesn't matter if it's in proportion or not, right? So you just want to make 2 legs. There you go, any way you want to. And then let's make them happy, right? Since we're having a good day today. Hey, how you doing? You know, and he's over there and he's got his arm. There, now you got your body. Okay, you got your standard body. Now you might be like, Mel, I don't understand. This is madness. I don't get it. So from here, only thing that you would do differently, same thing with this, right? And I'm going to use this in reference. Now you got your body, you got your head, you got your shape, right? Okay, so how would this work? The bobble, the circle, would be the neck, right? This part here would be an oval, just an oval shape, right? Kind of like, think of it like a peanut, right? There you go. Now you got your torso. You see what I mean? This piece here will be the waist. This would be the focal point of where your item or your person would move in this type of angle, right? So that's where this area right here would be the bobble for that. And that could work anywhere for digital, whatever you're doing, right? So you want to put that there. There's your little circle. You can put it small, big, however you want to, and then you got your waist, and you can just do a semicircle there. So there. Now you got your torso. If nothing else, you got your torso. Your hips can be however you want to do that. The more familiar you get to it, you'll be able to figure out how the hip socket works. I don't do it normally like this anymore, but you can do 2 circles here to kind of figure out what you want to do, right? That would be this area. And then from here, because it looks like, oh, Mel, what are you going to do? I'm just getting larger, but if you wanted to, you can just, you know, and that would basically be your legs. There, now you got yourself a pair of legs. See? Easy. Now, in your mind, when you were a child at some point, now some people may not have artistic ability, and that's okay. Some people may not be hip to it, and that's cool. You know, some people might be more mechanical. But if you were as a child, you know, and you remember doing something like this, piddling around, playing, it'll all come back to you. You know, the biggest thing with the human mind is you can be trained to not see this anymore. Like, we're developed as human beings to be able to actually see shapes, colors, and everything. Everything in the world has been developed by somebody, right? So it's the same concept here. So you got the circles, and then you would make the forearm, right? And just standard, just basic, you know, little forearm here. And then you could do, like this area, you can get more in depth with it, like a little circle here. And then you got your circle there, circle, and there's your hand, right? Elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, legs, knees, knee, lower leg, and then feet, right? There you go. You got yourself a person. You got yourself a person. And we'll do it again. We're just going to do it without the wire frame, okay? Any questions? Put it in the chat. I'll give you guys a minute. Let you guys put that in the chat. Whew. This light gets very hot. Very, very hot. It does. I know it's an LED, but there's so many different lights here. If I had a bowl of ice cream, it probably would combust into flames. No, I'm kidding. It ain't that hot, you know. Let's see here. And I'll show you something else too. With the wire frame here, if you have an eraser, what you can do is you can just go through and erase it, right? And then once you get it erased, you will always be able to see where you left off. And then there, right? So here's going to be our exercise. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to flip the page over. Okay? And we're going to just draw a normal person. Okay? And for those of you, which I'm going to throw this up real quick. I forgot to do that. I always forget to grab that, but I don't know. Maybe because I was busy doing real life stuff earlier. You know, RL. Use the abbreviations. I forget to do that sometimes too. Show my age, why don't you? Let's see here. Let's get that Discord up. So tonight, those of you that are a part of the Discord, we have a share your art, and I want to see what you are able to do. Okay? So I'm going to put this link here. And I'm going to pin that so quickly, right? There we go. Look. There we go. Paste. There it is. And there we go. It's pinned up there. Oh, you like that skew? Or did you have a question? I hope it made sense. I think it makes a little bit more sense when we do the next one, because we're going to actually draw something. All right. And I'm going to let you guys, this is going to be an exercise. I want you guys, kind of a crash course. I always like the idea of baptism by fire. Just get yourself in there and do it. Because this is where you learn my philosophy, and this is where I learned about art, what I wanted to do. At some point in time in doing art, you have to come to an idea of, why am I doing this? That is going to be the biggest principle of what is going to drive you as an artist, or at least in my opinion. Now, there are other people who might be doing the same thing or something better than what I'm doing. Fine. You can You can follow them, and that's okay too. I taught myself, and you know, my work speaks for itself, right? So, what I'm showing you here in this, and what we're going to do here is kind of a, we're going to allow you to like let your mind wander. You know, cut down the barrier of if I'm doing a good job or not, and we're gonna just have fun, because you know, I choose to be an artist that likes to share my gift and ability with other people to enjoy the gift, that creativity. That's what it is, right? Other people want to do it for a business. That's fine. That's what your principle is going to be. You're going to work hard at that. Some people want to do it for fame and fortune. That's fine too. Everybody that does art wants to get paid for what you're doing. Granted, that's part of it, right? But you have to find what your principle is going to be, and that will drive you in your passion to do your work, right? And to be better, and to figure out what kind of path you want to go down. I like robots. That's why I preferred. And people like my gore, and I kind of stuck to that, and it made more sense. So I can do horror and robotics, and I like ninjas. You know, find what you're good at, find what you like, and have fun with it. And that will build your practice, because you're going to have to practice, right? And you got to find something that you enjoy doing. So find what you enjoy doing, and then work on it. You know, 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, a quick little sketch. And you know, any chance you get to, make something simple. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do something simple next. A little something for you to do every day, and you can draw this. Okay, so we're going to start with a head and a face. This is all I want you to do until next Sunday. Just draw a head and a face any chance you get to. Okay, and we're going to do a simple head, right? So let's turn the page. I don't want to hear this man this guy's getting on my nerves. I thought I got rid of the song. Maybe I didn't pay attention. There we go. That man was getting on my nerves. I got tired of hearing him. Okay, so what we're going to do is just do a simple little circle for a head, right? It doesn't matter how big the circle. Just make a circle. You can make it kind of like a chin or a face. I'll give you the oval, the standard that I normally use for myself. So, you know, start somewhere like here. You know, make it kind of circled, and then pull it a little close at the end, kind of just like a semicircle, right? Kind of like a C. And as soon as you get it here, you just continue the circle around until you get here, right? And if it's a little wobbly and off, that's fine. You know, like we're just learning to get this back. Now, you have the head, and then we're going to do just 2 lines for the neck. Okay, and it's just kind of like a half C, like just a little crevice, and then you come right here, and then a little crevice. So then it's just basically a circle on 2 half C's, and that's going to be your neck, and that's your whole head. Okay, and this is how we're going to do the head frame, which is a normal T shape. Okay, so that's where we're going to bring it down like this. And right here is going to be eyebrows, the nose, the mouth, okay? And I'll darken it up, so there you go, there you go. My hand's always sliding, and there you go. So you have those 3 sections there, right? And just draw this on your own page, you know, just a line down and 3 lines, okay? So what we're going to do here is so this is like the eyebrow area. Right in this area right here will be the eyes. Right there. Nose, mouth, right? So this is where all the areas are going to be, basically eyebrows, eyes, nose, and mouth. Now you might be like, oh my God, I can't do this, Mel. This is insane. It's not going to be that hard. So right here is basically the eyebrow, right? So all that you're going to do once you get the head shape is you're just going to do a circle and a half circle, right? Just 2 half circles, okay? And that's all you're going to do. Just 2 half circles, one here, right? And as for the eyes, only thing you're going to do is a half circle and a half circle, okay? Just a half circle at the top, half circle on the other side. And then you're going to reverse that, okay? You're going to do the same thing. A half circle underneath, and then another half circle underneath, right? And then once you do that, then you have your eyebrows and your eyes, right? We'll get into more of the detail stuff, but I'm just showing you right now this. Now, right here is the nose. Now, how would this work? The nose, all I want you to do is just make a circle. Just a circle. It doesn't have to look like anything spectacular. It doesn't have to look like something from the Renaissance era. It doesn't have to be a little anything, just a rounded nose. And there's a reason why I want you to do the rounded nose, okay? Now, you got the rounded nose, and then for the mouth, only thing you're going to do for the mouth, you want this here. You want to leave this here, and this is a trick that I learned. So you can leave that there, and you just want to put one part here, a half circle there, and a half circle underneath, right? So you got basically a face. You drew a face. Congratulations, you drew a face. And you said that you couldn't draw, right? You just proved yourself wrong. You just followed me and you drew a face. Mel, there ain't no ears, there's no this and that. Whoever you are, you're full of no behavior, and you need to chill out. Because there's somebody out there that does that. I don't understand why. Because, well, maybe that's because you're at a different level. Or you just don't have an artistic eye, and that's okay too. Here, let me show you. Now, these lines have personal other reasons besides just being here, right? You don't have them just for here. Another reason why you have them here is because in between these areas is your ears. And your ears always match up. The top of the ear always matches up with the eye. All right? And you only thing you have to do is just do a little, like a semi-M, right? Top of the eye, that's where it started the line. Little M. Boom. There you go. You got your little butterfly ears. Good place to start. Don't care. It's a good place to start. You have symmetry. You got the idea of where stuff is supposed to be, right? Now, the hair. Here we go. We're going to do the hair. And we're going to do this one more time, right? Because we got 4 more minutes. And we're going to do it one more time. And then you guys are going to be able to do this. And then when I see you guys put your stuff up there in the Discord, or if you want to, I'll probably put a post on Facebook and probably Instagram too, so you can follow that as well. And I will ask you, so what did you learn? And then you can throw it up there and I can see what you did. And don't feel bad. If anybody starts trying to troll, we will destroy them. I mean, Mr. Smiles will handle them, right? That interesting man will handle them. He said destroy. No, we are not going to destroy them. See, this is a facility, and we have people who, as you saw at the opening of the show, that man just takes care of it. He just electrocutes, and that's it. So here's a trick with the ears, right? With the ears, it's the top of your hairline, so that's easy, right? So that's not hard to do. So how do you do hair? Mel, how do I do the hair? I don't understand how to do the hair. For those of you that are more advanced, you know what's going to happen here. You got your hairline that goes to the back, and then you can do whatever you want to, and if it's supposed to be flowing, you can find a direction. Chill, okay? We'll get to that. This is for everyone who has either never done this before or first time. So what are we going to do? We're going to do squiggly lines to get to this side. So you're going to do a half line here and a half line there, okay? Hey Josh, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. If you have a pencil and a piece of paper, you can follow and learn as well if you're interested. I'm teaching everyone how to draw, but catch the first 30 minutes of the stream. I would say probably skip maybe 2 minutes in and past the intro if you want. And you can see how we started because, I got another picture that we're going to do. But, we're learning some stuff today. So once you have the lines here, I want you to really think about just just the shape. I want you to get familiar with bringing the line around. I don't care about all the design or the swoosh and the head. Don't worry about that. I just want you to make that circle, okay? So let's start. Here we go. There we go. I don't want him looking like he's got an afro. Chill out. It's just a head shape. I just want you to get familiar to making the circle, right? So we got the circle, we got the head, we got that, we got the neck, and this is what I want you guys to do with your picture, okay? Once you get done with all of that, I want you to just draw a line from the neck to the other part of the neck and leave it alone. And this is what I want you to do for the rest of this week, if you have time. And if you don't have time, cool, it's okay. But this is what I want you to do. Next picture, we're going to do this, and this is where I want you to go through with me and figure out what your character, what your training character is going to be. Okay, don't do what I'm going to do. Just follow the motions. When I do the eye, the eyebrows, and do where the mouth is supposed to be and the nose, follow that, but make it what you want. You can make it with silly eyes. You can make it with cat eyes. I want you to just have the shape. I want you to get familiar with the shape. That's all I want. Okay, and then from there, it's all you. That's where you learn to gain your imagination again, right? You're not worried about what anybody else is saying. You're thinking about, what do I want it to look like? And this is an opportunity for you to kind of pull that, that dirt off of that creativity that you got, right? So let's dig in. Let's do it one more time. And then I'm going to paint. And I want you guys to really see this. So I'm going to do it in pen. But you can follow me with your pencil and make your own character. So first thing is that we're going to do the circle again, right? So let's start here. My pen's a little dry, so I'm not doing anything with that yet. I gotta prime that. So I'm glad that I found that out. Let's go on ahead. Let's do this again with the pencil. So let's start with the circle. Make your circle. There you go. Don't matter if it looks good. Just make sure it touches. Doesn't matter if it overlaps. I don't care if it looks all like, brr. It's fine. You got your circle, got your half circle, got your half circle. Make your line. There. We got our head. Good job, guys. Thank you, Skew. Cool. You got your line. Got everything here. Now, eyebrow time, right? So, right here, you can go ahead and do your lines again if you want to, right? So, we're going to do our lines. I want to make it very faint. Make it very faint. Don't make it heavy. Make it very faint so that way you don't have to go through and erase a lot. So let's just do a line here, line there, line here. There we go. Now we got our lines. You barely can see it on mine, right? So, eyebrow time. Little bump there, right? And from here, all the way to the other end, bump. There you go. You got your eyebrows. Now from here, we got that. Step down into that next section right in here. You should, if you put your lines, you should have that little gap right there. In this gap, we want to do a half circle again. Remember, half circle. Same thing on the other side. Half circle. See, not that hard, right? And then the next part, underneath, same thing. You want to line it up, just go down a little bit, and then you just do another half circle, right? Half circle, half circle. Now, we're going to go on ahead and do the ears since we're here. Keep this fresh in your mind. So that way you're already trained to do it, right? So from here, whichever side you want to start with, you want to go right over to the next spot and then make your little M. 1, 2. Bring it back to the head, right? Doesn't matter if it's all the way correct or not. You just want it in the right placement. Bring it over. 1, 2. See, I'll even draw it all wonky for you guys so you feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Here we go. So now you got your ears, right? This next part here, we got the nose. Okay, so we're like, okay, well, let me see what's going on here. So from here, you just want to do a circle, right? Just a little circle. Nothing special, just a circle. And then from here, you got your little part here, which should be your mouth. And then you can draw, if you don't want to do a normal mouth, you can just do a smiley face like that. You know, do your little smile like, wee, you know. Or if you don't, Some people don't like happy stuff. So if you want him to look grimace, like if you want him to look harumph, right? You can just, you know, I don't like it, you know. Or if you want to do a different face, and this is where your creativity's coming back, and I can feel it. Someone right now just had an epiphany moment. Their brain just got another wrinkle, right? Someone got their wrinkle back. So from here, you can do like, oh, I don't know, like I don't like this. You know, have fun, right? That's where you're at. So the mouth, I'll let you do whatever you want to. Hair, here we go. And this is all left to you. And now I'm going to let you guys have fun. You want to take your hair here and your hair here. Just right here. That's the hairline. However you do, whatever you do, however you do and whatever you do, you want to make sure it connects on both sides. It can get funky, and let me show you what I mean by funky. Don't follow what I'm doing, just watch what I'm doing, okay? You can get as funky as this. As long as it connects. As long as it connects. I know it doesn't look like much, but play around with it. And eventually, what you see here will turn into more detailed stuff. Just play around, have fun. Eventually you will figure it out. And now I'm going to go do the next thing. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Share a little something, and hopefully this unlocks a little bit of your inner madness, right? So let's go on ahead and let's paint. Or should I say, do something involving with painting. I hope it doesn't knock anything over. I hope I don't have to move anything. So, there we go. Yes. Beautiful, right? Man, this is going for sale. If anybody is interested in this while I'm working on it, please let me know. Because this is also going to be at the little event that I'm going to be going to. I'm going to have this there as well. Now, I want to teach you guys a little bit about calligraphy pens, a little bit. Priming it. Sometimes the tip will get dry. I maybe mentioned this before. Just a little bit of water just to get the ink primed. A little piece of paper towel, get it a little bit going, right? You want to dab it, kind of draw a little bit, see if it can get there. Main thing is you want to hit that little node at the top. There's a little hole here. You want to get that wet, right? Shadow, dadgummit. Well, anyways, there's a node up there at the top. You want to get that kind of damp, and then from there, should be able to go. Yep, there you go. See, I got a nice little blot. All right. So, what is this? This is a kind of a like a power plant, right? Like a dam. At least that's what the idea was. So I didn't know what to do with this at first, right? So happy to see colors. I got tired of the dismal black and white, huh? Yeah, some people don't like the dismal black and white. I did that for a certain purpose. This painting is actually the precursor to all those black and white paintings. This is before they destroyed the planet. This is before everything got destroyed and burnt up and all just, and you know, turned into the decimal wasteland. This is when they first started turning into robots and transcending humanity and becoming these new things. And you know, imagine Grim Dawn, but just no, not Grim Dawn. What is it? God, I was thinking about that because I saw that. I was looking at the, not that, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's it. Horizon, that game. Imagine that, but there's no humans. Just everything is machine. And then they do something dumb and all that dies. It's kind of like that was the inspiration because I was playing that game for a little bit. There we go. Bang. That's beautiful. Let's see, what's that color? Colors are in black and white. Yeah, you know. I'm probably going to get back into some more digital work soon. I'm going to give the painting a little bit of a break. I got a couple that I'm going to do. And I think I'll probably open up commissions soon again. But that remains to be seen. Oh boy, that's neat looking. Dang. I like that. There we go. Ah, man. I have to stretch. Ah. Don't forget to stretch. Stretching is important. Stretching is very important. Ah, man. I think part of my problem is also the fact that I may have pulled my shoulder the last time I lifted weights. Kind of gross. Don't like it. Not a fan. Wouldn't recommend doing that at all. There we are. Alright, so there we go. So we got that there. We'll probably do a little bit of something here, right? There we go. Let's see here. Wow, we had a nice group of people show up today. Man, let's see here. Put that there. And put that there. Alright. So did you guys learn anything today? Was that helpful? Do you think that you learned anything, or did you have any questions from what you learned today? Or if you thought it sucked, that's okay too. You can tell me, like, I ain't learned nothing. I didn't learn a single thing. You didn't teach me nothing. I already knew that. That's cool too. Oh boy, let's see what we're gonna do here. There we go. Squareage there, and then we'll do, because I figured it would just be like kind of a drive into kind of place, you know, like this would be kind of like main headquarters spot here, right? So then you would have a little bit of that, you have a little bit of the road here too, so it's like mounded, right? So you got little mounds of dirt and, you know, whatever. So we'll do that kind of a shadowy area, right? Just blend that in, give a little separation, right? Look like it's some type of tech junk, maybe, who knows, right? So there you go. You got that. That fills in some of that space. You know, makes a little bit of sense, right? And then we'll finish up the rest of this mountainside there, and then we'll pull this here, and that'll make it look like there's some dirt. Beautiful. And then we'll come back through here and touch this up with some brown paint soon. Do a little bit more outline. There we go. Okay, so we put that there, and then there. A little inspiration from Contra. Or not, yeah, it was Contra. That base. But not fully, right? Just kind of like the box shape. And that's how your imagination works. You use it as a reference. You know, you kind of like dig in there a little bit. That's what I did. You know, it's like, what would I do with this? What would I do here? What would happen here? And I was like, okay, so it looks like a box. And then I thought, okay, well, what could I do? And then I have an emulator, and I played Contra for a minute. I got to the first base, and I said, you know, this looks kind of, and I hit pause, and then I grabbed the paintbrush, some white paint, blah, 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 right? Just blah, blah, blah. And then now it makes sense, because if you think about it, this would be where the little doors were at, right? And then the hatch, because I thought about the hatch, but I wanted it to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do here is make this more of a kind of an open situation, right? There you go. You see, kind of like something like this. And see, sometimes with tech, less is more, right? Because it's simplistic lines and simple designs, right? Simplistic lines, simple designs. That's why, you know, robot stuff always looks very bland and basic. It doesn't look like it has much. But I also made this look like everything was kind of not put together like in an actual shape and pattern. It was kind of like the bots just put it together for function and easy disassembly, like just panels that overlapped, and you know, kind of makes sense but doesn't. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. You know. Alright. Now I gotta fix the ship. Now I gotta fix the ship up here. And then... And how am I gonna do that? Well... I use the brush. This brush isn't technically used for this, but I'm using it for it, so. And the only problem I'm going to have with this is that it's probably going to be very runny, and I'm going to have to let it dry for about a day or so. And then I'm going to have to go back over it because it's not going to be actually that correct. All right, gotta give that a minute. Let's see, what else are we? Oh yeah, that's right, these. Are those flying triangles? Yeah, they are actually. Yeah, that's exactly what these are. Hey man, those look like those things. Yep, they do look like those things. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There we are. I don't know, this song made me really think about playing Gran Turismo, right? Because I'm a big Gran Turismo player, more than Forza. Forza's okay, but Gran Turismo is my game. This sounds just like, oh man, I've been sitting here customizing this car all day. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright. What else do we need to pamper and pick up? And oh, we can... Okay, so the only other thing that I think of that we can do here to fix this is probably... Oh, that thing's been over my face the whole time. Huh. Or has it? I don't even know. Jeez, I don't even know what's going on. Anyways, let's see here. Oh, I can darken this up. Yeah. There it is. Trying to think, is there anything else? Got that, got this. Yeah, that was all semicircles. That's how fast I was doing that. And you guys will be able to pick that up too. It'll look like you're just scratching back and forth, but what will happen is you're doing this, right? And once you learn the finesse of this, you will be impeccable with coloring. This also works with digital as well as hand done, right? Bam, like that. You see? What type of building is that, man? That is actually a water treatment plant before, that's, well, not really water treatment, but hydroelectricity, like a hydroelectrical plant. That was the idea that I had when making this, is like hydropower. But, you know, that was the idea, Demetria. That was the idea. Hydroelectricity. And then something catastrophically happens and then boom. Are those spaceships in the sky? Yeah, those are fleet ships. Yeah, they're, you know, they're just moving through. But yeah, they're spaceships. That is correct. You know, I like the spaceships and the robots, you know, like height of transcended humanity before the cataclysm. And what is that? Well, you can just imagine industrializing, and then over industrializing, then the planet just dies. But you would think that they would need to. Yeah, well, you know, it's just kind of that thing. Woo woo. Hey, how you doing, Nuclear? Thank you for showing up. Glad to see you. Let's see. We're trying to figure out what we see. New eyes. We're wondering also. Yeah, well, okay, so for those of you that have no idea what's going on, what I am doing here is basically I'm painting the future, and what I've done is the future of humanity, and the idea of, like, basically humanity reaches that point of transcendence where they finally give up their bodies. Hence, this man here, he's nothing but a cyborg. When I lift this up, well, actually, I don't even need to lift it up. I need to move that scented candle. Bam, see there. So he's a full robot. Even the horse he's riding is a robot. See, but it takes a lot of power and energy to do that. So even though they gave up their physical bodies, they still destroyed the planet that they were on. Hence, it's the black and white paintings that I did in reference to this, which I can show you right here. These, all of this, and this is going to put everything in perspective for everyone. See, it started off in the beginning, the last remnants, because if you really want to put a story together, this would be the last remnants of humanity as they get ready to leave the planet. You know, they left, and then what was left is this, and then after this came the downfall of humanity, which would be this picture here, which would be the cataclysm, and that would be the end of the destruction of all of the planet, because they end up industrializing to the point that they end up killing everything and mutating the land. Hence, it's uninhabitable from anything ever landing there again. And these robots, once being beautiful creatures, end up turning into these desolate, decadent creatures that you see here that I've done in these paintings, all here. That's the whole story there. Black Pyramid. I mean, you know, they fly in the sky, right? The triangles that fly in the sky, right? You know? But that's basically the immersion of the world, since you guys know, like, I like to write stories. So everything that I do, there's always something connected to it. If somebody really wanted to buy the whole collection, I would have to sell all of that, right? Like in Kong Pao, the Flying Pyramid, that Betty worked on. Oh yeah. If only. No, these are based off of TR-3B flying machines. If you know what those are, you know what those are. But that's funny though. It's funny, Zatarius. Yeah, no. I was like, what could these be? But here, if you really want to see what the idea now, since the pen is really working, here we go. Here we go. I got something right here. There's one. And I gotta get the other part too. I get the under part for these. That's coming in just a second, because I needed that to be rounded, and this one is. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll get that in a second. One more thing. ADHD is a great thing to master if you are able to. Boy, can you lock in sometimes in a way that most people don't even get to understand or comprehend. But man, the downfall of it, boy, it is, you are a wreck until you can get back. I suffer from it, since I can say that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Console, yeah. French Evil. Yep. French Evil Council. Aw, shit. Well, not a mistake. A feature. That's what that is. Bang. Yes, over here. I forgot one extra part. There it is. There we go. There it is. There you go. There it is. There's that. Alright, so we're going to do something a little bit different from there. Where is it? Where are you? There you are. Found you. I'm piddling. Well, I have a emulator, a handheld emulator, and I was trying to get Tenchu 2 to work on it. I think I got it finally. So, such a fun game. Here we go. Now we do this. I'm sure I'm going to have the FBI beating on my door probably tomorrow. Because they're like, how do you know what these things look like? What do you know? And then they're going to grab my ass and black bag me, and that'll be the last time anybody sees me. But maybe I'll get my spaceship back, you know. Oh, that sucks. I got a piece of hair. That happens. I meant to get rid of this song too. I don't feel like fooling with that. Ah, there we go. That's better. Uh-oh. We're almost out of time. Ah, pity. Well, we still got about 15 minutes. A little bit. Something around there, right? Ah, yes. This part up here. This is important. Like I said, it's going to be hard to get rid of this painting. Well, the right price will come along. Probably won't be that hard. Hot damn, that thing's sexy looking. Let me see. Oh, that's right. You can't see it. Let me show you what I did a little bit here. Let me just bring it down some. There you go. There, you get to see what I was piddling around with up here. You know, all of this cute stuff going on around in here. Kind of like over here, since it's dry enough. We're gonna do a little bit there. So we're gonna connect this, pull that over, make that a thing, pull that there. Oh yeah, can't forget the guns. Don't forget the guns. Never forget the guns. You see, and even the ship looks almost similar to the same fleet that was on the planet before. You know, nothing has changed. Everything is still the same. It's just they don't have any bodies. And then they destroy the planet. Oh well. Here we go. Uh-oh. That's what I thought. Too much air. Not enough moisture. Dadgummit. Knew it. Hey, school. Hey, school. Yeah, this sucks. Damn. Ow. Whatever. I don't care. It's jammed. See, back when clubs weren't so dangerous that you would get, gunned down by like 30,000 people, I used to go dance. Oh, I made it. How's it going? Thank you. How you doing, Linda? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I used to be a nice old raver, but now it's too dangerous to go out to clubs because there are real mad people out there. But yeah, you called me just in time. I'm putting the last bit on this painting. The most stressful part is using this pen because this is the one that bleeds a lot. And I found out what happened. So I put a little bit too much pressure on it and I warped it. But I don't want to, well, it still works. I'll put it that way. And don't feel bad whenever you guys decide that when we start learning how to use the calligraphy, right? That I want to teach you guys how to use this too, as well, the best I can. But when I do, I want you guys to get multiple tips, and I'll hook that up for you guys over the next week or so of things that I use, and I'll give you guys my whole itinerary of all the tools I use, my whole cup, as I like to say, my little miniature cup of power over here that I use. Some of it. I have more than that I use as well, but this is the primary what I use. So, I'll have that later, but not right now, because I want you guys to get used to just what you're supposed to be practicing on, right? What you guys are supposed to be practicing on, So keep that up, and then we'll come back to that. And for those of you that are just tuning in or may not have been subscribed or any of that, please hit that subscribe button if you like the content that I'm creating. I do digital work as well. I use the software I use is Clip Studio EX. That's what I use. That's my doc. That's my go-to. I've been using that since Manga Debut 3. A long time. A long time. Maybe one day I'll get some sponsoring from Clip Studio, maybe. I don't know. That would be cool. That would be cool. It'd be like a full circle thing, Alright, I think we are at a point with this that we are now going to have to hold off, because it's that, what normally happens, it gets tacky. I have a fan, it's hot in here, I got a lot of stuff going on, right? And then of course, all the other stuff going on in this facility, all the electrical shock therapy stuff upstairs, and well, not upstairs, but further down the hallway. You saw it when you guys came into the show, what kind of silly stuff I had to go through to get here. So, but I think that the painting is kind of at a point now. I'm going to have to let this, at least this part, chill. And I don't know what else to do here, unless go back over it with brown, which I think we probably should. Maybe a little hit of it, kind of give it a spruce. What do you guys think? A little spruce in the brown and the green? Kind of pick it back up, give it a little pick-me-up. And if so, I could probably just get by using watercolor with that. And if that's the case, then we can just save ourselves a lot of trouble. Or, better yet, I got another thing. I got this other type of oil or ink. This is dip pen ink. Dip pen ink is something I've been experimenting with for a couple of months, right? It's interesting, very messy. It's got like a metallic undertone, so it's going to be nice to give you that little bit of a metallic looking brown, because I think I have a nice little, let's see, we have a orange, So we have another orange, sandy orange. I could probably make something out of that. That's a red. Red could go for those ships. Ah, we got a little bit of brown. And if I have a light brown, I might could... Aha, here we go. Reddish orange. Nah, whatever. Reddish orange will work. We're going to do some funky stuff here. And we're going to make this ground pop. Because I need that to happen. And also I need a little bit of green. So we're going to do a little bit of dark green. We might go over a little bit if you guys don't mind. I don't think you guys are going to care if I go over. No, I don't need that deep forest green. Nor do I need that green. Ah, there it is. That green moss green. Bang. Okay. We got our palette together. Now, we get to talk a little bit about color. Right? Color contrast and all that kind of stuff. Hots and colds. So, brown and light brown, reddish orange and all that kind of in the hot spectrum, right? So, you can kind of teeter around hot and cold. A medium between that is brown and green, basically, because both of those are on the lower end on the spectrum, especially darker hue. So you can kind of manipulate around with it. And you just have fun with it. So let's see here. We got that. We got our brush. I need a brush. Ask and you shall receive, right? Alright. This might be too big, but it don't matter. Let's see here. Now you gotta shake it up. These are weird. Like you can't just see the sediment in the bottom. You see that? That's the metallic mess in there, right? So if you don't shake it up, baby, twist and shout, you're not gonna have a good time. You'll have all this, and then that's gonna be bad, and that's gonna look weird. Oh, yep, there we go. Got it. And here's the other tricky part too. They got these rubber stoppers in there because it's supposed to keep it from getting air, and if you pull on it the weird way, and it'll pop, and then you'll get paint all over the place, and then it's just a funky good time. Everybody has a great time with that, right? I thought I could use that brush, but that brush was a little too large for what I need. But this is, and here we go. So there we go. Just a little bit. Fill it in. I know it don't look like much, but it will. Now you might see it, right? How it darkened up. You like that little contrast there? I know you guys do. It's like, oh, look at that melt. Look at what you're doing. I like it more. It's like Emperor Palpatine. I did a painting for him once, and then I said, what would you like? And he said, do it. I said, did you want me to do this? He said, do it. He was a very easy client. You want me to put more black into this picture? Do it. Do it. All right. What about this red? You want more red? Do it. All right. It was such a great time. So sad he ended up getting destroyed. Man, what a good client. Couldn't spend those credits when I got back into our solar system. We don't accept them, so it's kind of just like I have funny money. Damn, what a good time. Intergalactic travel, boy. Tell you what, such a fun experience. Oh, look at that against the brown. and then just a little bit there, right? And then just enough, right? Just feather it just enough. That's really pretty. I like that. I like how that worked out. Now let's get to the brown. Let's get to the brown and see what we can do there. And yeah, I think if we do that, it might just shapen up. I want to leave this just like it is. I don't care. But I wanted a little bit of that drawn depth, and I think I got it. Yeah, I'm just looking at it on the screen. It looks really nice in comparison to seeing it in real life, because seeing it in real life is really bold and dark, right? Like you get to see all the real depth in the color, and seeing it on the screen is interesting too. Let's see, orange. I think I'm gonna do a little bit with the orange. I wonder what. Nah, let's stick with the brown. Let's stick with the brown. If I can find the light brown that I just had. Reddish orange. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the reddish orange and then go back over. What planet do you spend funny money on? I don't know. Coruscant. Man, Tatooine. Any of that, anywhere around with the Empire and dealing with credits. Like you can't spend that here in the Milky Way galaxy. We don't accept that type of currency. You know, I don't know, something about trade, whatever. I'm not sure. That's far past anything I fully understood. But I knew when I got back, I had a bunch of it because the Emperor gave me a whole bunch for that painting. That damn Death Star blew up, and I told him, I was like, man, do you want to keep this? He's like, yes, I want to keep it on the Death Star. Show my true power as a Sith. And then he blew up, and then it's gone. And I was so mad. I was so mad. But, whatever. I heard that he died. Good enough for him. I think his grandson or cousin or something slaughtered him. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. Same thing with that Skywalker family, man. That's a mess. I try to stay out of that. That whole family's a bunch of crash outs. I just try to stay out of that situation. I just wanted my money, and I got out of there. Got an IOU from Darth Maul. I don't know how that happened, but the Crimson Dawn, they owe me a favor. So, the madman's connected. Right. There we go. Look at that brown. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. I like that. And see, that's the beauty of doing art and being able to get your eye of creativity back. When you can look at something and even be happy with what you do. That's the beauty of finding your creative spark in your life. Now, it may not be painting. Not saying that everybody's is going to be art like in this, like painting or drawing or anything like that. But whatever your niche is that gives you peace, find it. And if you like it, hey, just enjoy it. And enjoy what you're doing with it. If you enjoy, I don't know, if you like collecting pet rocks and gluing faces on them, not real faces, but putting, unless that's what you like to do, they ain't going to be doing that for long, but yeah, I mean, whatever you enjoy doing, find your niche. This is a perfect time. I keep promoting this always. Just if you gain your creativity back, if you gain your imagination back, which everybody can, doesn't matter how old you are, you have got to allow yourself to. That's the biggest thing. If you don't allow yourself to imagine, you can't have it. That's the first thing. If you're a dead set of saying, I don't want to have it, then you'll never gain it. But if you say, yeah, I want it back, you can always get it back, right? You can always get it back. Think of it, if you never watched Dragon Ball Z or anything like that, but for those of you who have, think of it as like Piccolo. Oh man, I lost my creativity, and then bow, you just push another one out of your arm socket. Boom, you're ready, you're back in it. That's all it is. What is this? They are galactic pirates, galaxy pirates. I mean, Yeah, I mean, yeah, something like that. They're like the Galactic Syndicate, you know. And I mean, I can't say that I am affiliated with space pirates. I can't say that. You know, that's kind of frowned upon. But I may have associates that might be. You know, sometimes I get people that come to the Madhouse that aren't from Earth. You know, who am I to say that you can't get right in the Madhouse, and you may not be of the same species that I am, but you know, as long as you don't eat me or try to manipulate my brain, what do I care? Oh boy, look at that. Man, we have had a nice turnout today. I am quite impressed. So, hit that subscribe button if you like the content that I create, if you like my beautiful smile, or if you like the work that I do. You know, definitely hit that. I'd like to see you come back again. I'll be here Tuesday, right? You know, and Tuesday I got those coloring books I got to get done. So I'm going to show you guys what I have so far, so you guys get kind of an idea for the event that I'm going to. Or I got coloring books I'm going to be throwing up, so I will show you that as well. Let me pull that up because I have to actually pull that up, right? So. Always remember, next thing, clean your tools. Always clean your tools. Make sure that you clean them immediately, because here's the problem. Okay? And I always follow this principle. Every ounce that you have sitting out that's just exposed, like what I have here, I'm closing everything, is money lost. And, you know, you don't ever want to lose or manipulate your tools, because if you do, then you're not able to create or use the stuff that you want to use. And, you know, especially with brushes, they're not cheap. And once upon, I'll put it this way without having to kill everybody's momentum. Once upon a time, the things that were cheap, that used to come cheap, are now going to be expensive. So take care of your tools, right? Take care of your art equipment. Now, the next thing that I was going to do is this. Ahoy hoy. Look, we came back over here. Oh, wow. Wow, he moved over here. What the hell just happened there? Let me show you what happened. Let me get my pen. So, this is what we're going to be working on coming up, right? I'm going to just open up the entire daggum file right there. Here's the whole thing, guys. So, I hope you guys are ready. It might take a second for it to load up, because it's a lot. I got like every single one of the pictures. Alright, so I'm going to go through this whole thing. This is the entire cowboy coloring book. Yes. Thank you, Skew. So I'm going to go over this real quick. This is the entire cowboy coloring book that I was doing for the event that's coming up. I'm also going to try to sell these as well on other things once they get done. So this is something coming in the future. So as I go through, I'm just going to close them so you can see what I have so far and what I'm going to be doing soon. So this is one page. That's the cover. This is going to be the cover, right? This one is called the trail. That's got the little wired haystacks rolling through with the staticky eyes, and then the cactus made out of pipes, and whatever this is and whatever ship that is. So there's that. That might be a placeholder. I might just get rid of that and just leave the rest of this. Whatever. Moving on. This one is called Standoff. You saw that before. Moving on. We also got Sally here, right? So all of these are able to color. Here's the thing I want you guys to also remember. If you do receive or purchase one of my coloring books in the future, don't be afraid to color them. I did all the hard work for you. I did all the shading and stuff so you can color it, and it'll be very bright and it will pop, because I've done them myself. I do them all the time. Whenever I get one made, I'll test out a page to see how well it works, and they work really well and they look nice. I will probably share some of those in the future. When I get done with this, I'll probably color the whole thing and just put it up on Instagram or something so you guys can see it. So there's Sally. And then here we're going to have the old shootout, right? So we're going to have a shootout here. A lot of blasters going off. A lot of blasters and robots, right? And then we got New in Town. and that one is just still got to fix up a little bit of the background and stuff. This one over here is me and my GRX 7600, which is a robot horse. You know, it's kind of like a bull different kind of thing. It's like a mech bull. Yeah, you'll see what I'm doing. You'll see that. That's what we're doing Tuesday. I'm working on this one, so you're in for a treat, right? This one's the Magnificent Seven. They're all going to be different types of robots, right? So that's going to be fun. I got the little bandits. You know, still got to do a background for them and tighten that one up. I got the lawmen, right? So I got to do those. And then we got the gone wrong. This is the bolts, as you can see here, the robbery that went wrong. And then we got the two guys here, camp for tonight. Got the two guys here, you know, he blasted the rocks for fire. And they got their little hover bike, right? And then, of course, we got the next one here. We got the call out, the card game. You got a card game going, so you're going to have a poker game with robots. And then, of course, we got here, they're building a city, so we're called the building crew. So they're over here moving a bunch of stuff, building the town. That's the one I was currently working on. And then we got the big iron convoy, and this big iron's got all the stuff back here. And yeah, you can color it. Use a color pencil, whatever. So that's what we're going to be working on Tuesday. And actually, I got to finish them up this week. So I'm going to be whatever Tuesday brings, and you guys get to see will be what I'm sharing on Tuesday, and also the same thing on Thursday. So I should be done with all that, and then I'll have the fun to put them together and get ready to rock and roll. So I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. It's that time. We went over, actually. Ain't that something? So, what is this? There we go. So, there's the music. You know what this is. You know what time it is. Time to go. Oh boy. But we had a good time though. I hope you guys learned something today, if nothing else. That's the important thing of tonight's stream. I hope you learned something, right? So, if you do like the content, like I said before, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And we will definitely see you Tuesday. Oh, look at that. The volume was turned down. Yes, indeed. Ha. So, I will see you guys Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Oh, man. I have fun. Very good. Very good. Those of you that are in the Discord, if you want to talk for a minute, I will probably pop in there for a moment. So we can, if you have any questions about what we were doing today, or if you want to talk or have a little bit more of an understanding, or even have questions, you can hop there. I'll be there for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go off and do other match stuff. What was that about your hug coat? Hope they loosen my hug coat. I don't know, man. You're heading to your shock therapy? I mean, I don't know. I can't really say. That just depends on the treatment. I mean, if you get zapped and you still ain't right, I mean, you still need treatment. And I mean, we're all mad in here. I mean, I just got zapped myself before I started. Sometimes I like to top off, keep me on edge, right? So, yeah, I'm about to hit that button, get on out of here. I will see you guys soon. Those of you, like I said, I want to hop over to that Discord for a minute, and I will see you guys Tuesday. Stay mad. Embrace your madness. All right. Bye.